Hi, welcome back to the Jac and Glen channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. We're getting ready to do Ready to Love, season number 5, episode number 4. DC, let's get started.
All right. So this week, the guys are in charge. Tommy meets up with them at the men's lounge.
The men's lounge.
Yeah. And he lets them know that it's your turn to make the decision. So this week, I want you to get out of your comfort zone, explore some other options, see what's up there. And, you know, Corey's like, you know, I'm excited. I need to go on more dates, want to pull back more layers. And Frank says getting out of the comfort zone, that's where he flourishes. That's his element. So, yeah, that's where he's ready to do.
I mean, he's ready to go. I mean, the guys come in. They realize they're one guy short. They realize that Carrington's not there, and it's time for them to get started. Hey, every man get a drink, sit around the table. I love this when brothers get together, you know. They're getting ready to make good decisions. Because one of the women got to go. One of the women has to go home.
So first we see Frank meet up with Aisha. And they said there's already a little vibe there. They make each other laugh and smile. They know how to do that. And so he's got her in a little chill kind of environment. They're going to play pool. And she was like, I don't know how to play pool. He was like, it's okay. We can teach each other.
You teach each other how to play.
Yeah, he's going to teach her how to play pool. And so, you know, she was like, he gives me butterflies. I want to know if I give him butterflies too. And, you know, she wants to connect on a deeper level, on an emotional level, to get a different connection. And so he's like, you know, I want you to know you're one of the first people that I made an initial connection with. You know, I think you're confident. It's the first thing I like about you. And I can feel confident beside you. And then also you got this motherly air, you know, aspect of you, you know. And then he runs it down. He's like, I know you got a boy, you got a girl. One is 13, one is 15. And she was like,
my man Frank was
pay attention.
My man Frank pays attention. He's very observant. He knew what to say, how to say it. And you gotta remember, Aisha has been married. She's been married for a while. Didn't work out, and so she's not trying to play no game. She's looking for somebody who can not only be a father to her children, but also be a nice husband to her. Someone that she needs because she's been in these relationships. So she wants this thing to grow. She wants it to be much more than just a fly-by-night thing, and she wants somebody who's serious because she's serious. You know, she went to counseling and made sure her kids went to counseling to make sure that they're ready for this process.
Yeah, and she was like, okay, I know he's feeling the same butterflies I'm feeling. And, you know, he's like, the feeling is mutual between the two of us. We have fun. They have fun on a date. You know, there was a lot of joy, a lot of sexual energy is there. And they take a lot of playful pics in the photo booth. Yeah, he's like, I might need to close this curtain. What's going on up in here?
Yeah, there's a lot of pics in the photo booth, and what happens is, you know, the privacy. They do some little things in the photo booth, but my man Frank's still a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Still a gentleman behind it. Aisha really enjoyed it. They had some laugh behind it. You can see the chemistry. You can see the sparks. You can see the energy. They are one of those couples that, you know what? I think they might be a thing. They might have something there. It's something that's there. We'll see, but hey, I think right now Frank and Aisha, they're a good couple.
And next we see not so much a date as much as some closure. We see Tyrone and Carrie meet up.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, we got to discuss the elephant in the room. How she felt like she was mishandled and like he could have treated her better. And so
yeah, good little backdrop. Tyrone called Carrie, and you watched the last episode. He called Carrie and he told her basically like, I'm not feeling you. It's not what you think it is. And so, you know, and it was like, he felt that was wrong the way he handled it because he handled it on the phone. So he wanted to meet up with her and basically tell her in person that we find out a little bit later. But let her know that there are other options. He's exploring other options.
And the gist of it is that, you know, he's like, I want to get right into it. You know, you show genuine interest in me. And then he said he felt like things started to go downhill. You know, at the mixer, he says that, you know, you were kind of aggressive, your behavior, I didn't really like that. She was like, aggressive. And he was like, yeah, you know, I was over there getting somebody else's number. I could see you from the side, kind of side-eyeing, looking. You know, you looked a little disappointed. It made me uncomfortable looking at you. She's like, hold on. Listen, I know what this process is about. You got my number. I gave you my number the same way and put it out there. He said, young lady. She said, same way Shiloh gave you her number is the same way I did. Don't put it on me being aggressive. I just want you to know I was interested. Yeah. She was like, I'm not going to accept that. No.
Which to me came off Tyrone felt a little insensitive, a little weak. Bruh, it is a competition. It's a contest.
Right.
So she's looking at you like, hey, I see this. Okay, you got another number. I just know I got some competition.
Right.
So it means I may have to step my game up a little bit more to get something that I want. And what he did here, he turned her off.
Yeah.
If she had any interest in him, by him being, I don't want to call it insecure, being...
Definitely insensitive.
Insensitive, judgmental, even to the point of being judgmental, even to the point of being like jumping the gun.
Right.
He just took somebody that was interested in him and like kind of threw it to the curb. Even though he wasn't feeling her anymore, I think what he did was he already picked Shiloh's my number one. He narrowed the field already, and I don't think too many people feeling him.
Yeah, he said it like, you know, you asked me about my date, and then you sent me a text message. You know, you want to know if I was still interested. I didn't see the text till the next morning, so I didn't answer, and I didn't think that was a good time to be like, you know, to let you know somebody else has my attention and you expected me to have an answer for you in the morning. She was like, well, I mean, I think that's enough time. I wasn't really asking about anybody else. I was like, are you still interested in me?
Right.
Based on the conversation we're having. And, you know, it was just weird. It was just weird the way he took it. She was like, I just wanted to know. I wasn't trying to push you. I wasn't being pushy. You're not going to try to paint me like that. I wasn't being pushy. I was just showing you that I was interested in you. And he was like, I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong. And, you know.
I'm going to tell you what you did wrong, right? He was mad because she called him early in the morning like, what's up?
Well, it was the night before.
The night before, yeah.
Yeah.
The night before, and like, I can't make the process that quick. I can't do that. She's just trying to have a conversation. And I know he did. He told her again on the phone that he wasn't interested in her. I don't know if that was before or after, but she didn't keep pressing the issue. She let it ride, and so he should have did just let it ride. Hey, you know what? I'm not interested. Let's keep it moving. It's good, and that's what this dinner, quote unquote, was all about.
Right.
And she understood it. She was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that went down the drain.
No harm, no foul. No.
Next we see Camilla Cornelius.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, we actually see we see Camille and Cornelius, but we also see Corey. Corey has set this up.
Corey set it up.
And because he knows they're feeling each other. And at first he plays like, oh, it's just the three of us. I'm his wingman. But it turns out Courtney's there.
Yeah, because Corey is feeling Courtney.
Yes. But Cornelius feeling Courtney and Camille.
And Camille is like, basically like when Courtney...
Camille's all about
Camille's all about Cornelius. And when Courtney walks in, she gave a little side eye. Like,
why is she here?
Why she here? Like, why she always gotta be where me and Cornelius is at? You know, she's feeling some type of way. You know, she feel like I got my claws on Cornelius. This is who I want, and nobody else. Yeah. And I want Cornelius by myself. So Corey was a good distraction here for Cornelius. Yeah. Because Cornelius said he wanted to spend some time with Camille by himself. Because the last time they went out, Walter was with him.
Right.
So he said, you know, this is the opportunity for me and Camille to have a conversation. And I love the fact that my wingman or my buddy, my pal, my friend, Corey, is running interference.
Kinda. He's running interference, but he's really trying to work it for himself.
Right.
But they go skating, and you know, Corey's feeling Courtney, and Camille was a little leery because, again, Courtney and Cornelius got their little connection. Yeah. But she said it's going to be a good time. because that gave her a chance to connect Cornelius again. And so we see them skating. It looks like it's been a minute since the ladies been skating because the guys are kind of helping them along. But they get a chance to sit down and talk. And the one thing while they were interacting that Courtney pointed out, she was like, you know, Corey's a Kappa. He was doing all this clapping and stomping and party hopping all over the place. And she says later, I usually like my men to be kind of calm. You know, so
ain't nothing calm about Corey, y'all. Y'all watch the show. Ain't nothing calm about Corey. Corey's gonna be over the top. Corey's gonna be Corey. Corey's gonna do what Corey does, and that's entertain.
Yeah.
Corey's the entertainer, man. I'm not. Look, Corey. This episode has some moments. He had some moments.
Yeah. She was like he was doing a bit much, but on the flip side, so we see Camilla Cornelius. They talk about the fact that they do a lot of talking on the phone. They do a lot of FaceTiming. They both really enjoy the FaceTiming. And she was like, "You be FaceTiming with your shirt off. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, you know, I'm feeling you. That's making me feel you some more." And he talked about the waiting. They had a conversation about, you know, basically she was like, "How are you serious about this waiting? How's that gonna work? You know, are you afraid that you're gonna wait to have sex and then when you do it's gonna be terrible?" He was like, He was like, "No, I'm not worried about that." He's like, "I guarantee it's gonna I'm gonna be fine."
Otherwise, he reassured her like, "Look, if we get to that point, right, it's not gonna be trash. I'm not giving you a limp noodle, ain't none of that stuff. It ain't gonna be trash." But again, she did the same thing Courtney did, but in a more subtle type way. Right? Let's not go fact that Camille, the Black Widow, is like, she is not trying to keep herself to marriage. Right? She said, because Cornelius said, "I'm waiting until marriage."
No, she said she did that too.
Yeah.
She did that too, but she just wants to have a conversation because I think that's a concern of hers. Like, if I wait and I get there, I'll be like, ooh.
But if you get there and you get married, it's much more than the sex, right?
Right, but
but you loving him much more than the sex. It definitely is part of it, but it's much more than the sex. So in other words, you're saying you love me and now help me to give you what you need and the way that you need it. And how long you need it. And you know what I'm saying? So in other words, you're going to have to tell me what you want.
Well, Cornelius said, "I got this." Basically,
he said he got this.
But because, you know, all that, I think that's what he's saying. He understands all that. Yeah. So I'm up for the task so it won't be trash.
I like what you did there. Up for the task, so it won't be trash. Go ahead.
But you know, he was like, "I already see the attraction there, so it probably won't be a problem with the sexual chemistry. You know, we kind of vibing that way anyway." So her next question was, "Well, let me ask you about bank accounts." And he, you know, he like chuckles like,
"I have a problem with Camille, y'all."
Why?
I have a problem with Camille. We go back a couple episodes. Camille asking people what their credit score is, asking them what their bank account, what's in their bank account, and here she is with all these student loans. To me, what you looking for? What are you asking me for? Are you looking for a lover, or are you looking for me to take care of yours?
And what I said she might be asking because she's like, "I see what predicament I'm in. You know, I see what state I'm in with my student loans." Now, mind you, she didn't say I'm not paying them. She didn't say it was a struggle. She was just like, I want to know what I'm getting myself into. So if both of us are drowning in student loans, I want to know that before we go into it.
But what she said was, "I'm gonna pay these till I die," and he was like, "Oh no."
She said some people have the attitude that I'm gonna take these to my grave, and he's like, nah, we're not gonna do that. And she was like, "I don't want to," but you know, people had that attitude. We know somebody that was like, they got bills. They was like, "I'm gonna have bills till I die. I'm gonna leave bills with my kids." I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's not cool. But again, my man Cornelius said he's living that debt-free life.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm debt-free." He said, I got my savings, I got my investments, my 401k, I got my IRAs." And she's like, "Mm-hmm."
I just think it's too early for you to be asking men their credit score. Asking their credit score and asking what kind of money they got in the bank account. It don't come off right. It's a red flag for me that she done asked two dudes about their credit score and about their bank account.
Well, she want to know that. For all we know, she might have gotten the once over when it came to guy. Like, she was like, he checked all these other boxes. He was fine. He treated me nice and everything. And then when it came down to it, he sucked when it came to his money. So up front, maybe it's a red flag for her. She was like, I need to know up front if you bummy when it comes to your money, and if you can't handle that, because I can't do it.
That.
Maybe she had to take care of a man before. She was like, no.
She did, but again, a guy who may not have a credit score or a good high credit score may not have no debt. You see what I'm saying? So if it may be a good guy, don't believe in credit, right? I want to pay for everything in cash, so he's not gonna have a great credit score.
Well, that's why she didn't ask him about the credit score.
But she asked Walt
about his bank account.
But she asked Walt about the credit score last time, so it's all again the same line. She's asking cats about their money.
Leave her alone. I'm not mad at her for that. I'm not mad.
I'm mad.
I'm not mad. But anyway, she said, the money thing that checked the extra box for her. She said it put an extra check in the pick me box. And she was like, I feel like I'm ready to love him.
Yeah, because he got freaking help with them student loans.
Stop that. She didn't ask him for no help. Don't put that on my good sis. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm reading between the lines. I might be wrong.
Don't do
Camilla,
that.
if you watching this, I might be wrong, but if I'm wrong, let me know.
You know what? He said that he likes the fact that she's got a strong interest in him, and that she doesn't want anybody else around. But at the same time, he's like, I don't want it to get into possessiveness. I'm keeping my eye out for that.
Right, because he's interested in other people. She's falling in the situation that KG Smooth did. She's putting all her eggs in one basket, and it may not pan out.
Yeah. So then we flip again to Courtney and Corey, and he was like, is it anything that she'd like to know about him? And she was like, up front, I felt like he was trying to talk to everybody. And in her vignette, she's like, I'm still on the fence about him, but I'm gonna feel him out. Like I said, he's his usual over-the-top self. I'm used to a calmer guy. And so she was like, she let him know, I saw you at the mixer and the brunch, and I wanted to get to know you. And, just linger there. And while she's talking, like, he is real close up on her. He's doggone near hugging her.
Pervert City. Bruh, because he invaded her space. If you look at it, his hands were all up on her waistline, down by her candy dish, all up in there. He positioned and posturing up there. Again, he made the move. He asked, does this bother you?
She said no.
She said no. Now, was that a hesitant type no? I don't know. I'm not her.
I think it was kind of a nervous no. No, but you can move.
Right. But again, he feeling the sex because she was giving off a lot of sexual energy last time, and he probably know that, and so he's gonna give off some sexual energy too. My thing with Corey is that every woman that he approaches to go out to date with, he puts them in an awkward position.
Oh yeah, he's very touchy.
Right, touchy-feely, awkward position. I'm not saying if they're grown women, so they have opportunity to say no, get away from me, leave me alone. But he always puts them in an awkward position. I'm just leery about that.
Yeah. But she's like, he's all up in my face. You got me blushing.
Got her blushing.
And he asks, she asks, what are you looking for in a wife? I'm looking for a lifetime commitment. I'm looking for someone who truly understands that we can ride together, die together. Mm-hmm. We could be lovers for life. And he's like, I'm feeling this energy. And, he was like, I can't, I could fall in love with her very easily. I feel like he could fall in love with a lot of people very easily.
Anybody.
But, he said, I wanted to make sure this date was on point and special, and I wanted to make an impression with you. So I drove all around, and I got you these. The lady at the skating rink has the flowers that he brought in.
And that was sweet. It was sweet. I'm not knocking everything. Corey is he tried to be romantic. Mm-hmm. And he I think he really does like Courtney, but he still has this reputation, or the way that he comes off is still a little
pervy.
Yeah, not good. So I think, if he keeps working Courtney, I think it may work out. Mm-hmm. Keep romancing her, dog. Keep romancing her.
Next we see Walter, and he's getting out his comfort zone, taking Mumin out.
Yeah, Mumin.
And they go to like botanical gardens, and he's like, I think she's an attractive woman. Right. And at the happy hour, she sparked his interest. And she was like, I like the conversations that we have. It's so diverse. Like, we can talk about everything. We talk about life. You know, she really likes talking to him. And so in this space, she's like, do you want to get married again? He was like, yeah, I want to get married again. I want to have kids. And she was like, okay. He said, but I want to be married first, then have kids. She was like, yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's the order to go.
That's the order to go in.
Yeah.
So, you know, they on the same page when it comes to that. And he was like, you know, because I want to be married and have kids because I want to be there every day. And so he shares, he gets personal, and he shares that, you know, my dad left when I was 2.
Yeah.
He lives in the Philippines. He doesn't have anything to do with me. He sends me a message every birthday on Facebook. That's about it. And, you know, she's like, have you ever tried to talk to him? He was like, I tried on several occasions. I sent him a 6-page letter, not handwritten, on wide rule paper, not handwritten on college rule paper.
Nope.
He said I sent him a 6-page typed letter.
He sent him a post-it.
And what? Yeah, bruh. Say that again.
He sent him a post-it.
And the post-it said, and this the part that I was like, man, that sucks. He sent him a post-it because he's pouring out himself, letting you know how it felt with me growing up. You know, if you're not being there or whatever. He sent him a post-it back and it said, I'm at your sister's house. Now, how that supposed to make me feel? You're not there for me, but you're going to tell me. Because obviously I know you've been there for my sister. And not only that, you're there at her house. Yeah. All I get is a Facebook message that says happy birthday.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
That showing that he and then, you know, Walt said, I realized then that he didn't want to be a part of my life. So I'm good. I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to handle it. I'm going to move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she appreciated his vulnerability. She said it made her want to be more vulnerable. And she shared that, you know, she and her father aren't very close. You know, she wished that she was. And so the men that she's kind of been attracted to, and Walter was like, oh, that's why you like older men. She was like, I mean, yeah. But at the same time, she was like, I've got to make sure that in me dealing with an older man or whatever man I'm dealing with, that I'm not operating in the little girl, like looking for a father figure. Because don't be putting your husband, your man, your boyfriend, your significant other in no father.
But then she goes back and calls my man Zaddy.
She did. But that's not like father figures. Zaddy is like, BB Winans, I don't know if y'all know who BB Winans is, but people's like, he's like, they call me Zaddy. I don't know what that means. That means most days. When he did the verses, Ron Winans was definitely Zaddy. But I remember what I say.
Winans. Don't be churchy. Don't be churchy.
Ron Isley, because I had just said BB Winans. Don't do that. And plus, Ron Winans, God rest his soul, he went on to be with the Lord. He's with the Lord, resting in the bosom of Jesus.
Oh, go ahead.
But I remember Ron Isley back when, you know, with the big old dentures, dentures, and that real black Superman, almost blue hair. Yeah, no. So I wasn't that impressed with verses. Some of y'all were. I mean, y'all was calling him
she
Zaddy.
called my man Zaddy, so to me, that's still giving like a
I'm still talking about Ron. Don't do that. Yeah, she called him Zaddy, but he didn't mind. He was kind of like, Zaddy. Oh, you call me Zaddy? She was like, but Zaddy helped her down the steps or whatever it was in the botanical garden on her back, on his back.
On his back. He didn't want her to fall.
Yeah, she was like, it's definitely connecting, and they want to continue with that.
Yeah, my man Walt put his best foot forward. He even researched whatever that was they were setting in.
Oh yeah. She was like, what you know about flowers? What's this right here? He was like, it's so and so. And she was like, oh, you know a lot. He was like, oh, I snuck and read. Well, anything to try to impress. But anyway, so next we see Shiloh, Phil, Dante, and Carrie. They go out to a workout, and he was like, you know, Tommy encouraged them to go to a place, you know, you can work the women out, you know, get out your comfort zone or whatever. So Dante asks the ladies and Phil there, and they do their little workout. And the ladies first start with stretching, and Dante's like, man, these ladies is stretching it out. They both giving them that spandex they got on a workout.
Them cats couldn't get the mind right.
He said I'm distracted. He said this is why I go to the gym when there's nobody there.
Early in the morning.
Cause see all these shapes and stretching and all these body movements and
messing them up.
Carrie says in the workout, she expected to be sore and burning in the morning. And so Dante was like, oh, for real? So they did a lot of stuff with the bands. She was like, I was shaking. I was. He gave me the... Now, how she gonna say he gave me the heaviest band?
She did. If you look at the purple band, and if you do anything band workouts, the purple band has the heaviest resistance. So maybe that's the only one he had left, but she did have...
That's what I'm about to say. I think maybe that's all he had left, but I was like...
He gave her the heaviest band.
So, we see Phil pull Shiloh to the side. And then we see Dante and Carrie talking. But when Phil pulls Shiloh to the side, he's like, it's the first time I'm being able to interact with her one-on-one myself. How was the workout? She said, he was like, the workout was good. But she was like, I prefer meditation breathing. He was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. You're going to have to show me. And, she was like, you just got to quiet your mind. And he was like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. She was like, oh, yeah, I know. You said you was busy. You don't hardly get you don't like to sleep. And he was like, yeah.
I know the feeling. When you busy, man, you talk about meditation therapy, right?
Phil asked her, but you have to take some time to clear your mind. We're all busy, but you got to take some time to clear your mind and just let all the troubles of the day just fall away. And not have your mind racing all night long.
I'm sorry. Mine's always racing. It's always racing. Something's always on my mind. I need to try that.
Phil, he's a mess. Phil asked her how she felt about the mixer. She said it was good. She was a little overwhelmed at first, but she wanted to make a connection with someone, and she wants to find a life partner. So she's trying to feel everybody out. She said her and Phil have an easy energy. They looked comfortable with each other.
They were comfortable with each other on the couch having a good conversation. She talked about being discreet PDA. She said she likes discreet PDA. Yeah,
but before that, she mentioned that, she enjoyed the closeness that they have and the intimacy, and he's giving her thing is sensual. Remember, she's the intimacy coach. She was like, he's giving me the sensual energy. It's reciprocating, and he says, what romantic gesture would give her butterflies? And she says something as simple as telling me I'm beautiful. And he was like, you're beautiful.
You're beautiful. Yeah.
And she's like, oh,
she
I didn't mean now, but okay.
I mean, he look, Phil followed instructions very well. Right? He followed instructions very well, like you do.
And then that's when she talks about the subtle PDA. Just walking PDA. Past, just when you brush up against somebody. Like, he was like, oh, you gonna brush up? Okay.
Because she went like.
Yeah, and so he said that she wants somebody to spoil her.
Mm-hmm. Don't brush me off. I saw that you just brushed me off. Don't let me have my discreet.
Because
let me have my discreet.
You can have your discreet PDA moment, but we have to finish the video, so I can't get too wrapped up in your discreet PDA.
Okay.
Okay, get it?
Got it. Good.
Good. Okay, so no. So she said, I want somebody to spoil me. I want my man to spoil me, and I want him to fill his cup and fill mine up so we can overflow together. He was like,
yes.
I like that. Yeah. It was like he was in the poetry lounge.
Yeah, oh, that's sweet. That's deep, though. That's deep. She got deep on him.
Yeah. So, again, Phil and Shiloh are talking, so Dante and Carrie are talking.
And their conversation didn't go as well.
Yeah, he said, he's glad to be there. It's been a while. Wants to know, has she made any connections? She was like, yeah, I met some great guys in the group, and I made some good connections. And she says, I'm trying to connect with you. And, he was like, okay, yeah, I'm here. I'm right here. And she was like, are you sure? And because she said, she's getting that vibe. And his face did look like it. Getting that vibe that he wasn't very interested in her. But she still wants to try to dig a little deeper and see if there's something. He
wanted more. To me, it seemed like an interview because she just kept rattling question after question after question after question after question after question. And he wanted something a little bit more deeper, more intimate, not question. Because he asked about kids at one time. He was like, well, I got kids.
Well, I think the first part, the energy she was feeling, it was just like, when we sitting down looking at each other, I think he was looking like, I don't know. I don't know. Even before the questions, he was like,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like you said, he was like, she was like, you know, do you want to have kids? And he was like, yeah, I have kids. And, you know, do you want kids? Do you want me? Is somebody want him? And, you know, she chuckles and he's like, this is weird.
Yeah, he wasn't feeding into it. And I think she felt a little awkward as well.
Yeah, because she was trying to draw him in and he was like,
He wasn't coming in. So it's like this awkward conversation. They were holding hands a little bit, so I don't know.
Well, I think because she was trying to pull him in, like trying to get him more interested.
More comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just holding hands. But, yeah, he was like, I'm on the fence with her, and her conversation didn't really flow like it did with the other ladies. And then she ran out of questions. She was like, I don't have any other questions. I don't know what to say. I was like, oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
Don't do that.
Nah, don't do that. So it just made it was awkward moment.
The next one we seated, I was like, okay, was Naeem and Zadia. And they go to the mixology place, they crafting cocktails, and it was Chocolate
City.
Yeah, but it was something about Chocolate City.
Yeah.
Love in the Chocolate City.
Love in the Chocolate City.
Or something like that. But he said as soon as I saw her at the mixer, you know, he was excited and he wanted some alone time with her. And so he said it's been a while and you know, he's looking to try to get some drinks. And she was like, oh yeah, you trying to liquor me up? That's what you're doing?
He said, well, yeah.
He said maybe just a little bit. They both chuckled.
Just a little bit.
And so she says, how would your friends describe you to me? And he says, they would describe me as protecting. I want to make sure my woman is good. Yeah. You know, I'm happy that she's happy and taken care of. And she was like, okay. And she says, well, I think my friends would describe me as spoiled because I am. I spoil myself. I see what I want and I get it. I get what I want. And he was like, oh.
She always wins.
Okay. You always get what you want, okay. He said they talked, you know, a little bit about, you know, he said willing to compromise and learn, and that's why he's here. And, you know, he wants to keep the smile on her face. Yeah. And she says it's hard not to keep a smile on her face, but once it's gone, we got trouble.
She's one of the women, like, when you make her mad and you turn her off and she's done with you, she's done. But when Naeem was having that, you know, again, it didn't feel like an interview. They were just vibing. They was having great conversation. They were really enjoying each other. He was looking in her eyes. She was looking in his eyes. And
then they got to touching on thighs.
I got to touching on thighs.
Touching knees.
Touching knees.
Holding hands and It
was one of those moments. They, you know, they started feeling each other. So.
Yeah. So it's so far so good with them. He was like, you know, you're definitely someone I'm feeling and I'm interested in. And she was like, are you very interested? He was like, very, very, very. He was like, oh, 6 varies. That's serious. And then, like you said, you know, it's a lot of hand holding, hands on thighs and knees.
I'm just worried he's putting his eggs in one basket too early.
I don't think he is. We'll see. That's just the date we saw here. You know, because he said, I want you to know, you know, I'm feeling you. And he said, I'm feeling you, but I'm going to get to know other people because that's the way it is. I'm going to take my time. Yeah. And she was like, I understand. You know, that's what we're supposed to be doing.
We're supposed to be doing. Just don't, hey.
So at the same time, they do their mixology thing. Well, then we see Frank and Tasia. And we know that he is a bartender. This is what he does. He's got all the razzle dazzle and pizzazz with his cocktail.
Frank makes it. I'm gonna make you a nice drink. This is what I do. You know, this is what I'm gonna get you in a moment because he wants to talk to Tasia. He said he was interested in her, but never had a chance to get to converse with her, and he wants to see what she's all about.
And so he was like, "I'm making you a cocktail. What should we name it?" And she says, "How about to see her?" Oh, okay, Tasia. I'm gonna to see her. I'm gonna make this cocktail. And she even said too, Frank wasn't really on one of her first initial connections, but she's interested to see how it goes. And I laughed because I know he's a bartender, and you know they had their razzle dazzle whatever, and he's shaking and he's doing just the kind of way he was shaking. I was like, he's shaking his whole body. I was like, Okay.
That's how he's working for tips. He's working for tips.
But it was the way he was shaking it. It was like he had a shake weight.
no, there ain't no shake weight. He wasn't doing a shake weight thing.
No, because, I'm used to, he was like... That made me chuckle y'all excuse me. I laughed. And then the way his face was looking, I laughed. I was like,
he was putting on a show. He was trying to get her into the mood and to be entertained by him. So
yeah, but she said she does love a cute cocktail, so she sips it. And at first she kind of looked unimpressed, but then she was like, oh, it's good. I love a sweet cocktail. And so he says he's happy that they're there, and he wants to, knock down that wall that she's got. And she's like, well, what about this wall?
And y'all didn't know she was at the bottom last time that the men had to eliminate the women. She was at the bottom, and she was upset. She was mad. And a lot of things, as he mentioned, it was because she had this wall up. Mm-hmm. And so he wants
so they felt.
So they felt, yeah.
I think sometimes in situations like this, people misinterpret just people's personalities as a wall. Mm-hmm. And it may not be a wall, because I'm here on the show. I ain't got time to have no walls up.
Yeah, but you got to let me in.
Yeah.
You got to give me something somebody has to feel with you. I mean, feel a connection, some type of connection, whether it's through conversations, whether it's through a moment that y'all laughed, or whatever case may be. Give them something, because, again, you only have a short space of time to make an impression on these people. So you can't come in guarded, regardless of what it is. Your gate has to be some type of way open.
Because her thing, and this is her talking about his wall. She was like, I'm not understanding your wall. How many times does it take seeing me before, you kind of get to know? But this is the first time they've had a space between just the two of them.
Yeah.
But, he says he wants to know, you tell me about yourself. She was like, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a tech startup. I left corporate almost a year to the day today. And, I have creative autonomy. And she talks about her job and talks about her job. And he was like, every conversation we have, everything we start, it always comes back to her job and her profession and her being an entrepreneur. And he was like kind of turned off by that.
Yeah, we have a conversation. I know you have a job. I know that I want to know what you do for fun. Mm-hmm. What makes Tasia is not your job. Mm-hmm. It's not your profession. Especially your tech startup. It might be doing very well, but who are you? Let me get to know you, not the entrepreneur you, not the CEO you, not the founder of your business you. I want to know who you are when you're not the CEO, when you're not the boss. Let me know who you are.
Yeah, and he wasn't getting that from her.
No, he wasn't getting that.
And when the guys meet up with Tommy, it translates there. But first, we'll say and it's the man cave. They meet up at the man cave, and they chat about their dates. And he asks about connections. Of course, Corey says from day one he was feeling Mumin, but the dark horse is Courtney. And he talks about the fact that they went skating and he gave her flowers. And so Tyrone was like, well, I hit it off Sabrina early, and as well as Shiloh. And now, she's my number one. She's the big joker right now. Right. Shiloh's the big joker.
You tell you in DC, man, because that's what you say, Joker, Deuce. you playing the card game, Joker, Deuce. So he knows that's spade. That's spades, y'all. That's spades. Yeah. So that's how he plays.
Because I heard that some of y'all don't know how to play spades.
Spades.
I mean, I didn't learn until I got to college.
When you play spades, you need to know the rules.
Yes.
Let me know the rules, but being in DC is Joker, Deuce.
Tyrone talks about how him and Shiloh have been talking recently, phone calls and FaceTimes, late nights, and the more they talk, the easier it gets, and he could see a future with her. And Phil was kind of like, okay.
All right, I got some competition.
Yeah, he said that Tyrone talking about Shiloh was kind of shocking, but he also had to put it in perspective and remember that you're not the only person that somebody might have a connection with.
Yep.
And the whole purpose is to feel each other out, to see who you have more of a connection with. So he was like, okay.
I get it.
Cornelius said his biggest connection, as we know, is with Camille. And Tommy's like, what is it about her? He was like, man, the curvaceous chocolate, goddess she is, And Tommy was like, I know, I'm 54, but I see it. I see it. I'm married, but I ain't blind.
I ain't blind.
But he said he called Courtney a dark horse too.
Mm-hmm.
That she surprised him. They have a lot of phone conversations, but he said she put the pimping on me because she was like, well, the ball's in your court. What you getting ready to do, bro?
Because she's the aggressor.
Yeah,
Courtney
absolutely is.
Courtney is the aggressor. She's not going to hold back. That's that Leo taking charge type deal where she's coming in and she's ready to take charge in any relationship.
Mm-hmm. Walter talks about his date with Mumin. He said Mumin's a sleeper. You know, they went to stop and smell the flowers, but she smelled better than all the flowers out there.
Man, Tommy made a joke saying you get flowers from the same place Corey got his from.
He's like, no. And when Walter's talking about Mumin, you know, Corey's kind of looking like, that my lady. I don't know what you think you're doing. But
you got Courtney, dog. You can't
got everybody.
No, I ain't got everybody because Sabrina already shut him down.
Yeah, but he trying to fill everybody.
He's trying to fill everybody.
But Walter said conversation with Mumin was easy. You know, he said he didn't think it would be because initially they didn't have a connection, but they're getting into the connection. Naeem says Zadi is his major connection. How they got close, got the hand on the thigh and everything. She had her hands on him, and I noticed Cornelius kind of made a face like, so I'm thinking he probably feeling Zadi a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got Camille, so work with that.
But he said he has options.
He does. Next, Tommy says, okay, who has to go? Frank is like, Tasia. I tried, but ain't nothing there.
Nope.
Naeem agrees. Tasia, he was like, you know, I could see the smile on her lips, but I couldn't see it in her eyes. You know, it just didn't match. She didn't come across authentic. Tyrone, of course, threw Carrie under the bus. We knew he would.
He threw her under the bus quick.
We knew he would. Tommy said he heard that they had a pretty rough date. And he said I think it's because I had to say out my mouth that we didn't have a full connection. I did like her, but we didn't have that full connection in. And Tommy's like, well, what caused the turnaround, the spin out? He was like, I met somebody else. Talking about Shiloh.
Yeah, you met somebody else. Which, I mean, doesn't make Carrie bad because you met somebody else. You got to do things in class, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. And let's do it as class and let's do it classy. And that's what Tommy was saying too as well. They like, dog, let's handle business. Tyrone seems a little rough.
Yeah. I told you it's a soldier story. Soldier.
Yeah, he's a little rough.
Cornelius says that he didn't really get to have any conversations with Sabrina. But the one thing with him and her is she doesn't want any more kids. And he was like, that's a deal breaker. That's a no-brainer for me because I want to have kids.
Yeah,
I want to have somebody that's a part of me. And if she ain't trying to have kids, it ain't no need in even pursuing that.
Yeah, I mean, but just like last season when a lot of people knew kids. A lot of people knew Tessa didn't want any more kids. Mm-hmm. So that knocked a lot of guys out. Tressa. Tressa didn't want any more kids, so already knocked a lot of guys out. So I can see how that is a deal breaker for some guys.
Mm-hmm. The last thing, Dante was like, you know, he sees each of the women want to get more time with him, but he knows that it's part of the journey that people gonna leave, so you won't have a chance to get to know everybody. But so he was like, I gotta make sure, and we should all make sure that this isn't his vignette though. He was like, that's why, because we don't have that much time, we have to make sure that we're intentional with the time that we do spend and who we spend it with. So we see Cornelius take Tasia out and Naeem takes Carrie out.
I was surprised.
Why?
I was surprised.
About Tasia?
About Carrie.
Really?
I thought Sabrina was going to go there because of the kid thing.
Well, but like you said, it's other people that's feeling her. Which I'm surprised that, you know, her and Walter hit it off. Because she doesn't want kids, and he told Mumin that he did. He wanted to have some more kids. So, but yeah, I was expecting maybe Sabrina too. But Cornelius takes Tasia out, and he says he's been wanting to take her out for a while. She was like, I've been wanting to go out with you too. You know, he said she seems a little nervous. And she was like, well, I'm not nervous, but should I be?
Should I be?
I don't know. And
let me know.
Yeah, he says, you know, that the guys talked and, you know, your name came up. and
she was like,
yeah, they feel like you haven't been open. And, you know, trying to get that wall down. And
but she feel like she's been open though. She feel like she done giving him everything she got.
Yeah, that's why I said it's just a personality thing. When Naeem takes Carrie out, you know, she was excited to go out on a date. Yep. But he was like, I want to know how you feel about being on this journey. She's like, I feel good. On the connections that I've made, I want to go, you know, dig a little deeper and make sure I'm not focusing on just one person. And Naeem tells her too, you know, the guys have talked and everybody kind of brought your name up. And so we hear Cornelius tell Tasia she is ready to love, which obviously means that Carrie is not ready to love. And
on the show.
Yeah, on the show. Yeah, because Naeem was very encouraging. I'm sure you'll find your king, the man for you out there, you know, somebody for you, you know, that be the person that you're looking for.
Yeah,
and she's like, here. Yeah, she was like, you know, I just feel like I was misunderstood. They just didn't really get me.
And then she didn't have a chance to go out with the rest. She only went out with half of the guys.
Right.
Or connected with half the guys. And so she felt like she got a short end of the stick.
Right. But again, Tasia, to see her, she is ready to love. I'm saying she's ready to love.
She survived again.
And she appreciated the what Cornelia shared with her, and you know,
I need to see her connections.
She said she didn't feel like she had her walls up, but that's their truth, and so she just went on to enjoy the night with Cornelia.
I need to know who saved her. How come she didn't get the most votes? Not that she's a bad person.
I think Carrie just got more.
Carrie may have got more, but she's been on the bottom the last 2 times. It's inevitable that unless we see a solid connection with her, that the next time they vote women, Tasia is going home.
I don't know.
I think she's going home.
We'll see.
We'll see. I think she's there, but again, she's been on the bottom for the last 2 times. So unless we start seeing connections and a lot of guys are having issues with her with the wall, if that's she's giving her best and she still have the wall up.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a wall.
She's not letting.
It might just be her personality.
She's not letting her hair down.
Yeah.
She's not giving them the full to see it, in our opinion. But maybe she is. Nonetheless. Hey, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Check out our Married at First Sight review from this past week. Also continue to stay here for more videos. Ready to Love. We are 4 episodes in. Next week it will be the women. In charge.
And from the preview you see, it's about to be a curveball.
It's about to be a curveball. Tommy throwing curveballs. He can throw 2 curveballs. He's
throwing them already.
He's throwing them all because he's bringing some people in that wasn't there. So they got a pool party, and some people start coming in they, I guess, pool outfits. And they bathe in suits. But now it's a curveball. So stay tuned for that review next week. Ready to Love. Hey. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, and we'll catch you down the road.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.